What is happening, Carib Boys and Girls? This is your boy Carib Boy with another Pokemon TCG video. And what we want to talk about today? Well, Astral Radiance just released, and all you know, when a new set come out, Carib Boy does tell you his picks, his top 10 picks of both collectible and playable cards that I think I want to collect and I want to play. This is not a global ranking system of what cards are worth from the highest to the least. Neither is it a ranking system of what is considered the most competitive to the least competitive. No, these are simply my picks of what are playable and what are collectible to me. Alright? So in this video, we want to talk about Carib Boy's top 10 picks of Astral Radiance of playable cards, or cards that I want to play. Alright? So when I finish, tell me what you think about my list, and of course, feel free in the comments to share what you think is the playable cards to you, or simply what you want to play, what you want to try. Alright? Nice. So let me kick things off. Now, this set is quite special. Astral Radiance is quite special. It is an interesting set because in this set alone, at least from where I sit, there are a few good decks that you could try from this set alone. I think possibly is a good set for a new player to probably try and put together a budget deck, or even something he think or she thinks might be quite competitive. I don't know. We'll see in the next few weeks to come, right? Coming in at number 10 is Jesuian Lillyigan Vista. Not necessarily the card alone. As I said, this set is quite special. I want to try this card basically in a deck themed or led by the Jesuian Lillyigan Vista. What we have in the Jesuian Lillyigan Vista is a Vista ability called Star Perfume. During your turn, you may search your deck for up to 5 in any combination of grass Pokemon and grass energy cards, reveal them and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Of course, you could only use one Vista ability for a game. Then we have the attack for 2 grass and 1 colorless, parallel spin, base 130 damage, and the effect reads, you may put an energy attached to this Pokemon into your hand. If you do, this attack does 100 more damage. So that is 230 base damage if you return the energy to your hand. Plus, you're acting like Choice Belt. So they're looking at 260. You understand? 260 damage off the bat. And this set brought into the game a lot of support for grass Pokemon. If you check out all the cards. Now, all the cards can make the list. But check out this set. There's a lot of support for grass Pokemon now. So coming in at number 10, Jesuian Lillyigan Vista. Coming in at number 9, we have a favorite of mine. A favorite of mine. When I look at the card, of course, I want to collect it. You will see it in the next video. Beedrill V. Now, Beedrill V has for 1 grass energy, Twin Needle. Flip 2 coins. This attack does 40 damage for each heads. Cool. But the second attack for 2 grass and 1 colorless, we have Swarming Sting in the proper style of a bee, right? This attack does 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for each Beedrill V in play. It just says one of your opponent's Pokemon. So this swarm attack hitting any Pokemon on your opponent's field for 200 attack, provided you have 4 Beedrill Vs in play. I think with all the grass support out right now, there's an interesting card to try to build a deck around. And if given the resources, I would try it. Coming in at number 8. To be honest, number 8 is not necessarily a personal choice, but looking at all the reports of the competitive scene coming out of Japan, the Palkia Vista comes in at number 8 simply because I'm paying attention to its performance on the global scale. Palkia Vista, what we have here, Origin Form Palkia Vista. It has the attack for 2 water energy, Subspace Swell, base damage 60 plus. This attack does 20 more damage for each bench Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's. Now, this reminds me a bit of the Suicune V, that is attack for the amount of bench Pokemon, but a little more base, the 60 plus the 20, right? So you're looking at a full bench, both you and your opponent, 260 damage with a choice belt, 290. That knocking out any Vista and bringing it very close to knocking out the biggest VMAXs, which could be Eternatus at 340. Alright? Now the deck surrounding this Pokemon is performing quite well in the international scene, as I mentioned. So it's looking good. Who wouldn't want to try it? Alright? And that comes in at my number 8. Coming in at number 7 is another deck. Is the Reggie deck. All the Reggie cards, right? So there's this deck that is performing quite well. Again, paying attention to the competitive internationally. The Reggies placed 4th, I believe, in a big tournament recently. So not to go into too much details on it, the Reggie deck is basically a toolbox deck comprising of the Reggie Steel, the metal type, Reggie Lecky, the electric type, Reggie Rock, the ground fighting type in the TCG, and Reggie Ice, the water type, Reggie Gigas, the normal type, the big boy. You understand? That card, that Pokemon is kind of like the engine energy acceleration of the deck. Once everybody on the field, he could accelerate energy onto anybody. And according to your opponent, as I say, it's a toolbox deck. You could choose which one is the attacker and just go straight into your opponent, hit for some weakness, take some prizes, win the game. Alright? It's a budget deck. The cards probably won't be that expensive. It's not big cards. So if you get your hands on a set, try it out. There are various lists. I will throw up a list here for you to see. One of the builds for the Reggie deck coming in at number 7 for my top 10 playable cards. Alright? Coming in at number 6 is the Jesuian Samurott Vista. There's a deck going around that. Listen, this is a personal choice. This is not about seeing the scene. Even though people speculate that this will be a good deck, it really start to show up itself yet. But the next card, you go explain why, right. So my first, I would say, most competitive deck that I own was the Eternatus VMAX. So darkness typing cards have a special place in my heart, in my competitive heart, you understand? So looking at the Samurott, listen what the Samurott does do, the Jesuian Samurott Vista. For 2 darkness energy, merciless blade, 110 base damage plus. If your opponent's active Pokemon already has any damage counters on it, this attack does 110 damage more. 220 damage. If you have 1 damage counter, 220 damage. Choice belt, 250. Alright? But listen to the V-Star power ability, Moon Cleave Star. During your turn, you may put 4 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. 220 plus 40, 260 if you use the effect and the attack same turn. Alright? It sounds very, very intimidating. And I think if I get my hands on the resources, I would definitely try to build this and play this. That is my number 6. Coming in at number 5, we have the first trainer card. We have the Dark Patch. And this is responsible for a few other cards on this list. Dark Patch brings back that whole darkness acceleration. And I think Dark Patch will find its way and cause the darkness typing to rise a bit. Alright, Dark Patch, attach a basic darkness energy card from your discard pile to one of your benched Pokemon. So it has to be a benched Pokemon. So here we have darkness support in Dark Patch, and as long as you like dark and you're playing dark, you're going to be using 4 Dark Patch in your deck. Alright, and things like Ultra Ball, Quick Ball, things to discard, you'll be using it. Alright, so we're halfway there. Coming in at number 4 is Darkrai Vista. Another card responsible for that last fella in number 5 spot, right? Darkrai Vista and Dark Patch brings back what people calling the Darkness Turbo deck. And listen, I love the Pokemon Darkrai. That's one of my favorite mythics from the whole series, right? Darkrai, when I saw it and people talking about it, I'm taking the advice of the people who in the game long. They say this could be a good deck. Now, looking at it and then not seeing it perform, I was kind of skeptical. Then I started to see gameplay, people trying it out early, you know, uploading their codes to PTCGO. And I personally like the speed and the intensity of the deck. And I will definitely be chasing to build this deck as quick as I could, you know, as quick as resources and money flow, alright? Here what the card does do. Darkrai Vista. Dark Pulse for 2 colorless energy, 30 base damage. Plus, this attack does 30 more damage for each darkness energy attached to all your Pokemon. Alright, now there's a few builds with a few different cards. One card is a Weezing that is multiply your darkness by 2 attached to it. Listen, it have a few builds for it. The real energies it using 4 Dark Patch, of course, and another card that's on this list. Darkrai Vista, definitely going to try to get it. Definitely going to try to build it. First with some pulls, you know, because sometimes them singles could hurt the wallet, alright? But Darkrai Vista, my number 4. And definitely a chase deck for me. The others, you know, if I happen to come across the cards, yeah, I will get it. But this is the highest deck that I have up here. Alright? And moving on to the top 3, ladies and gentlemen, Carib Boys and Girls. Coming in at number 3, we have, well, these 3 cards, I would like to call them very high potential staple cards that I think people would use in their decks, no matter what it is. It could fit in a deck, you understand? Number 3 is the Radiant Holucha. And what the Radiant Holucha does do? Radiant Holucha, you're playing this Radiant Holucha for its effect. Big match. And it reads, as long as this Pokemon is on your bench, your Pokemon's attacks do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon V Max. Who's the top deck right now? Oh, alright. Alright, well, at least the most popular deck in Mew VMAX is a VMAX deck. It's a VMAX deck. And I think this guy here, this Radiant Holucha, will be a severe thorn in the VMAX's side. Alright? So, you know, there are a few VMAX in top play right now, making top in a lot of the regionals and tournaments and things. Holucha, I think, we'll be seeing some of it in the upcoming regionals, and only time will tell. We will see. I think it will become a staple. Radiant Holucha, guys, number 3. Coming in at number 2, we have a trainer card. Yes, Trekking Shoes. I think this card is going to make its way into a lot of decks because of its effect. Listen to this. Look at the top card of your deck. You may put that card into your hand. If you don't, discard that card and draw a card. This is making any deck, your deck, a turbo deck. You're getting the cards that you want. If you have to, you know, weigh out the options. If this first one that you don't want to lose it, well, you keep it. You know, deck acceleration, card acceleration. Who wouldn't want that? I think this card is going to make its way into a lot of decks, and only time will tell. It's definitely in my Darkrai deck list. I don't have the deck yet. All right, yeah, nice. All right, guys. So, one card left. The number 1 card. Before I reveal what card that is, what card do you think it is? All right, I'll give you a couple seconds. Coming in at number 1, drum roll please. Coming in at number 1 in Carib Boys top 10 playable cards for Astral Radiance is Radiant Greninja. Yes, I think Radiant Greninja is the best card to play, or the best card that people would want to play as a staple in a lot of decks. I could be wrong. I know a lot of top YouTubers and players say this already, so it's not coming off the top of my head and my own knowledge. I think I agree when people before me had said that this is possibly the most playable card to come out of Astral Radiance. I definitely want a few copies because it will be hard to juggle one copy across my decks. I haven't pulled it yet, of course, but it is because of its effect. Concealed cards. You may discard an energy card, not even basic, an energy card from your hand in order to use this ability. Once during your turn, you may draw 2 cards. Energy acceleration to the discard pile. There are a few decks that use supporters and cards and effects to accelerate from the discard pile to Pokemon. A good few. I think Radiant Greninja will be a staple in a lot of decks. It already is. It already is in a ton of the lists and demo decks that you see on the online right now. So it is not new information. All right. So tell me what you think about Carib Boy's top 10 playing cards of Astral Radiance. You could disagree or agree, whatever. Feel free, share your opinions down in the comment section. And if you like what you're seeing, don't forget to beat up that like button, bust a subscription, hit that notification bell so you won't miss a Carib Boy video in the future. And enjoy your day. Have a good one. Carib Boy out.